Hey, how we doing, fam? All right, we got a prospect in the building. We had a great conversation. I was able to get to know Aidan a little bit through like DMs, phone calls, and then we actually met in person during the weekend of PowerSlap 18. Anyway, he's got a lot of passion for the sport. He wants to get up there on that stage, make the roster, show what he can do. He feels like he has a unique technique as well, and we get into that a little bit. We don't fully divulge, but we get into that a little bit. But anyway, today's guest, Aidan Bugarskii. Grab a beverage, listen, watch, sit back. I don't know, maybe get a snack too. But always remember while you watch, 3, 2, 1. That's a knockout.
3, 2, 1, yeah, that's a knockout. They call me kamikaze, put you in heaven's lobby. On gas, no brakes, you can never stop me. Nah, no, you can never stop me. Yeah, cause I'm the power slap king. Woo! Slap some, baby!
Hey, what's good, fam? Look, we got one of the power prospects. Power prospects. Aidan is in the building. Aidan, how we feeling, baby?
I'm feeling amazing. That just, gave me the chills a little bit. I haven't even had my coffee yet.
Well, hey, if you're ready, let's do it. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building. Everybody raise up. He's trying to get on the roster. Show some love. Aidan Bugarskii.
Dude, that's pretty
What's
sick.
up, dude?
What's up, bro? How are you?
Doing so well. Hey, look, we've gone back and forth in the DMs. We finally got to meet in person at PowerSlap 18, watch some prelims. Having gone through that whole experience, are you still just as excited? Maybe a little nervous, but you definitely still want to get on that PowerSlap roster, yeah?
Yeah, I'm even more excited. To me, it was more of like, holy shit, this is real. The lights are here. The athletes are walking out. To me, it's like, now it's just my time. Just give me the call. I want to make that walkout so bad. There's nothing more that I want to do than walk out and get on that stage and just slap somebody. It's just like, so it was such a surreal experience. Like, it was entirely, the whole trip was crazy.
Dude, it's so funny, man. When we first reached out, we had a few DMs, then we actually got to have a phone call with one another. And you bring a bit of an advantage, meaning we haven't seen you get up there. We haven't seen you slap as far as that is concerned. But you already have a following, dude. So when you put out into the social media world that this is what you want to do, did you get any feedback from your followers or anybody that like, hey, man, you're crazy for thinking about doing this? Anything like that?
Yes and no, because 70% of my follower slash fan base is already MMA targeted. So the
Okay.
audience isn't too far off. Obviously you have personal family friends that I've met throughout the years, but in terms of it being niche, it was a surprise in terms of wow, you're gonna compete versus oh wow, he just signed like a media deal with them. He's just gonna do some journalist stuff because that's what I was doing before. I was commentating at an MMA promotion, and I couldn't stand sitting there at the commentary table without wanting to compete. I was like, I can't do this. I got to get up there. And I was like, dude, power slap is it. This is something I'm really good at.
Yeah, I noticed that in your Instagram. So what was the organization? I saw you with the headset and the black shirt, the whole deal. That was a big dream of yours.
Yeah. No, I've always wanted to do commentary. I just want to be involved to an extent where I didn't have to work. To me, working sucks. Like it's horrible. It's the worst thing. And if
Oh,
I could
man.
find something to do that I absolutely love to replace that, it was everything to me. So me being able to go out there and miss a week of work, fight week, do the interviews with the fighters, full commentary, stuff that you have to do. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot of studying, tape reviewing. It's literally a full-time job. So getting out there to go do it and do what I love in that like arena that we had was pretty cool. I think like maybe about 3,000, 2,000 people showed up. It was pretty cool. It was a good experience. It was super loud. I was with the production truck. It was a lot of stuff. It was a learning experience for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they give you, how does that process work? So I want, to be involved in any way I can. You went the commentary route. Do you come in, audition, send in tapes? Like, how do they find you? And then you can showcase you have that talent so they actually, go with you.
When I first ever started out, I was just doing backstage interviews that I fucking hated doing. I would
No
be
shit.
on media row with 4 or 5 other guys who are in some bullshit uniforms, and they're just sitting there asking the dumbest fucking questions to these fighters. I mean, these guys put so much hard work, and it's like, to me, it was a big disrespect to see half of the questions asked. And to me, I'm just like, what are we doing? What am I doing here? And I was like, I did it for 3 or 4 shows, and then after I was like, you gotta let me commentate. I'm not meant for this shit. Like, you see my media personality. I'm able to be on camera. I'm good at speaking. Like, this is just what I'm able to do. So throw me up there, and they did, and it worked out. I did, I think, 5 shows in total, and then kind of just
Nice.
pulled the back. Yeah.
Dude, that's way cool. I talked with Cyrus Fees a few times,
Hmm.
and his story is amazing. It's like a masterclass in how to get your foot in the door in that whole commentary world. He would look up where matches were happening on like Tapology or whatever, and then actually reach out to the promoter and travel on his own dime to get there. So it's an interesting world, isn't it? The fight game, like it's got this aura of massiveness,
Yeah.
but when you actually want to get involved, it's interesting how reachable a lot of the right people are.
Yeah, to me, it was kinda, I don't wanna say climb to the top, but in terms of networking, climbing to the top of the food chain and resources and networks, that was the easy part, just showing up was the hard part, getting my first ever media pass
Interesting.
was the tricky part, like, that was the real hurdle. That was something that I was like, "Damn, this took, like, 2 months to finally get," and somebody finally took a lead on it, and then after that, it was just like a snowball effect. It was so easy. It wasn't even, like, any real hard work or anything.
Yeah, so it became, even though that was like a passion of yours and
Mhm.
but once you were in the saddle, so to speak, and had a few shows under your belt, it was kind of like, okay, now I have this new itch, this new desire to like
Yeah.
actually be the show.
Yeah, I couldn't stand there and do it. I mean, I could see myself doing it after I'm done competing in anything, but I'm 22. Imagine being a 22-year-old sitting at the table doing that. I was foaming out the mouth for it. I was like, "Dude, I can't do this. Get this fucking headset off me. Get me in the back." Like, I just couldn't.
Dude, that's cool though. And what was it about Power Slap where you're like that? A couple of things. What was it about Power Slap that like initially intrigued you? And then what was it about it where you're like, oh no, 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 I could do this.
I think it was just the clips that I was watching. I saw a lot of people use like their swing and momentum, and I'm like, dude, these guys are probably making decent money to get slapped by somebody who fucking sucks. Like the competition when I first looked was so low. I was like, I was in disbelief. I was like, what is going on over here? It's like a clown show. But then as I got into it and as the sport, I think hit like show 8, 9, that's when people really started to progress. And then that's when we started to see a lot of the swings that are still people are keeping till now. So that's when I was like, well, there's weight classes for a reason. And I looked at my weight class and did a lot of investigation, probably watched every match that's possible out there in my weight class. And I was like, dude, there's something these guys are missing. And I have that missing piece.
And is that like is that a gut instinct or is that learned because you watch so many matches?
I
As
would say
far as I've
learned.
got an edge on them.
I would say no, just by what I watch. It's not like
Okay.
I'm talking out of my ass. I post my training, and I really do have some crazy power on my swing, and it's just because I'm using a technique that isn't out there yet. I wish I could easily say it. I'll tell you off the air, but no, it's just something that nobody's doing yet, and nobody has, for whatever reason, seemed to figure out. But I was talking to Sin about it on the phone. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "It's." He was like, "I was just on a phone call with one of my buddies. He's a wrestler." He goes, "Why the fuck has somebody not incorporated this into the sport?" And when I told him that, he was like, "No fucking way. You could be the first kid to do it."
Okay, all right. I like a good tease on the pod. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, there I know you kind of answered my next question, which was have you been in contact with anybody like Sin, like Justin? And it sounds like you have. And the feedback from the matchmakers, if I remember correctly, and let me know if I'm wrong, but when we were talking on the phone, it was just a matter of, hey, we got to get your face out there. We got to let people know that you want to do this and want to pursue it. So you're doing that. So have they given you any idea as to when you might get an opportunity?
In my head, yes, I have an idea. I'm actually about to call Sin, whether it's tomorrow or Thursday. But right now, I'm playing my patience. Patience is key is this game. You can't let the patience die at the table. So for me, I'm not rushing anything. I'm young and luckily I'm in great shape. It's not like the time's crunching on me. This sport isn't going anywhere and nor am I. And I'm just going to get bigger and bigger. And who knows, it might be better for me. I'm not going to rush anything. Anytime God gives me something, I'm going to accept it full heartedly. But maybe if I go off on my plans, maybe my plans could destroy me. So in that case, I just wait and wait and wait. And whatever happens, happens.
No, that's a good attitude. And man, patience is real in the fight game. I'm learning. There was guys even in power slap, Jonathan, I think he was waiting like 2 years or some shit, and then power
Mhm.
slap 18 calls. And so that's good. You got that mentality already
Yeah.
because the patience thing is real. What weight class do you see yourself in? And do you think you have enough with your training, with your practicing, with the insight that you kind of teased earlier to take on somebody who's ranked? Or do you want to take someone who is 0-0 just like you on the stage?
I've looked into the top 10. None of those guys are really scary. It's a welterweight division. None of those guys are really too threatening.
They
Obviously,
might be watching
there's
now.
and that's okay, that's okay, they're all, from what I've seen, great guys, but, you're standing in front of my dreams at the table, so it's something different, it's more personal in that sense, but, I mean, outside, I've met some of the guys, and they're beautiful people, very delightful to be around, and they're pretty funny, like, I didn't realize that
Yes.
Power Slap to me, I would, like, intend a lot of animosity between these guys, and no, everyone's like a family, so, like, what's there to hate on, but when it does come down to that table, I'm very, very sorry, I like a lot of you guys, but, I have to do what I have to do, and easily I could take a top 10 guy, maybe even top 5, but that's not the point. The point is I'm a man's man, so whatever they want me to do, I'm gonna do. If they want me to start me 0-0 because I do understand, you never seen me been up there, you don't know if I could take a shot, so you know what? Let's do it. Let's go so I can knock the first guy out and build a little bit more hype and ride the train. There's no point in hyping me up and then throwing me top 5 and whatever happens, happens. Because in this sport, it's like it's guaranteed somebody's gonna get cracked. There's no escaping. It's not like MMA where it's like, well, dude, the kid hasn't been head kicked yet or whatever. No, this sport, you're gonna get cracked, and everybody is due. Even the champs, even everybody who hasn't been knocked out yet or knocked down, like you're due. It's gonna come. You could be this insane human being so far, but count your days.
Yeah, that's real. I always say, what I like to say is we will find out. Like, to me, that is power slap. Like boxing, MMA, even those big five leagues like NBA, NFL, all that stuff. Like there really is there really is this bit of mystery as to what could go either way. And in power slap, the only mystery is where can you take it or not? And we will
Yeah.
find out. And I love that about the sport because it shows the cojones on the competitors
Mhm.
because you can't avoid what's coming. And it shows the excitement is what it's all about. And I love that you recognize that already. Like at the end of the day, you have to realize you will have your time. But until then, let's get some crack on.
Yeah,
Got
I
the
mean,
drug now, fam.
that's my, biggest thing right now is just working out, keeping my body healthy. I mean, I even talked to Brandon Bordeaux, and I was told him, and he was like, "Dude," he goes, "if you're already telling me what you're actually doing behind the scenes," he goes, "I have no doubt in my mind you'll be a top contender." It's just the nature of how lazy a lot of guys are. That's another thing is a lot of guys treat the sport as a way out. Most guys are middle-aged from buttfuck nowhere and are taking this as an easy payday to hopefully get a little bit of ahead in life. But no, to me, I mean, fuck the money, fuck everything. This is for a sport. This is for a career outside of this. This is to me, it's my endeavor. It's what I want to focus on doing. I've always dreamed about something like this. I just didn't know what it was. Growing up, I thought I was going to be an MLB baseball player, then a football star. Then I thought I was going to be a college wrestler. And then I thought I was going to be an MMA fighter. And then now we're at Power Slap. And I thought it was, but even before that, there's a ton of different journeys where it's like, I still envision myself being in a big arena with a lot of people doing something most people can't do.
Yeah. Man, I love that. I think a lot of people, if they are being honest, that's a reason why they come to Power Slap. I was just talking with Brandon Rhodes about like the wrestling roster, things like that. And I think even with the wrestlers, that's part of it too, is look, man, we're competitors. We want the spotlight. And however we get that arena of people, if you will, that's what we pursue. And I think that's a healthy attitude, man. I really
Yeah.
do. Dude, so going through your Instagram, I
Mhm.
see this clip of King Ben. Should we call him King Ben?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Shout out King Ben.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
my boy King, bro. He's the best.
he's awesome, man. He shot me a DM asking if I do other podcasts, and I was like, "Yes, I do. Let's pursue this." But anyway, I bring him up because I have to ask you, dude.
Yeah.
When you're interviewing somebody on your podcast, um, and the story is so intense involving somebody, like somebody giving, shall we say, someone a new birthday is the clip,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dude, what goes, because I do most of my shit online, right? If I could
Yeah,
fly everybody in and do it in person, obviously that's better.
of course.
But that's why Sweet Talks is so fun and important, is because we get to actually interact, you know, person to person, not through a screen. Anyway, so when you're person to person and someone's telling you a story like that, you seem pretty chill, bro. Like nothing. Like, are you thinking anything different about the person you're talking to when they have such an intense story?
You see, I'm a very, very curious person, just naturally. That's just who I am innately as a person. No matter what it is, I get very curious about things, about different walks of life and people, and I get fascinated by this kind of stuff. So even somebody like him, whether people want to believe it or not, or however you want to take it, if you know it's promotional or if you're smart enough to understand what we're doing, I still am fascinated by it. I think it's still entertaining to me, and it's me. It's like a movie in real fucking life. You know, I'm sitting here with somebody who have watched clips who has like 50 billion views across platforms. So it's like people know him, and I sat there and we shot for 3 hours, and we had a great, great time. We talked
Damn.
about a bunch of different stuff, and then after we talked 2 hours off camera, and that's how we became really close.
No, I love that. We are the same. I'm I'm so curious and fascinated by what people are passionate about. Like the way someone talks about, you can tell they're like, this is what they love or they don't. And I think that's such a good thing with podcasting in general is if you don't know by now, fam, podcasting, you can talk for 8 hours, you can talk for 30 minutes, but you really can't get to know the person. And I think that's a powerful tool that we've tried to bring and will continue to bring to the power slap world, which is people need to know that you guys are fucking humans. Like,
Yes.
this is a dream of yours. You know, whether you like what I'm doing or not, like you are a human being trying to achieve something, level up your life, get some notoriety, maybe become a champ in something, the best at
Yeah.
something. And to see the journey of certain people, and you're in this journey now, is awesome to me. And that's what I
Yes.
love. And I love your answer about being curious because, bro, that's what it's about. Like, what makes us tick? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's the number one rule to any big company. All these companies, let's say even Power Slap, they sit there and they look, okay, this is what our product, this is what we sell. What is the number one key to sales? It's selling through curiosity. And that's how you get somebody to buy your product. It's like a whole revolution designed, just everybody's curious to some extent. And then after that, how can we keep you hooked and how can we keep you addicted to it? Because at some point, if you see something that's crazy, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Especially Power Slap, 7 second clip of a
Yes.
guy getting fucking slapped as hard as he could across the head. And to you, you're gonna be like, what? Swipe right. Now you're on their page. Now you're looking. Now you're like, well, how can Power Slap sell their product to you to watch a live show, let alone maybe buy a ticket to go to a new one?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's real, man. And I feel like, and you do a good job of that. Like, look, you've got those eating clips,
Yeah.
the in and out one, the one with the pasta or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and those are fun. And those are, but I think what's important to realize is for anyone who's watching, trying to get some sort of, traction in this slap game or whatever, those things are on purpose. Like they're there so people will do exactly what you're saying. They'll dive a little bit deeper on you.
Mhm.
They'll see, well, what else does he have? That kind of thing. And dude, I think that's an advantage for you. I really do. You get the entertainment side, but you also are
Mhm.
working on the physical side.
Yeah, that's one thing is like entertainment I could easily do. I'm an entertainer at heart. That's what I do. It's why I have a show. It's why like even for your example, it gets people entertaining. I've had 5 different answers to why people came across my profile from Power Slap to my eating videos to my MMA stuff to my commentary and to even like personal life of like what I would post or like I had a podcast back in 2024 episode I did with my buddy Peter Lee Thomas where we talked a lot about the vaccine and at the time during the pandemic pandemic, it was a very not talked about thing. You know, I had 2 companies reach out to me and try to sue me for it, and they were said that this is take this down. And then now today, if you go on the FDA's website and you talk about what I was talking about, it will say this is factual correct information. So it's like that was a big turn into why I wanted to really be out there in the net, because it's like, man, so many people are just uneducated. And then I took this like the idea of like, man, as much as in my heart I wanted to educate people and I wanted people to be smarter, you can't. People are fucking dumb as rocks, and you just can't. You can't teach stupid, you know? And it's just something that if somebody genuinely wanted to learn that, they would. They would know. They would dive into that, you know? And most people just don't.
Yeah, it's so the landscape we live in with podcasting and social media and
Yeah.
all that, you do find out that we just like people are who they fucking are, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
they clickbait their way chatting through life, or they actually dive a little bit deeper. And I think that in a weird way, that's a lot like power slap. Like I say it a lot that I don't watch soccer, right? Soccer doesn't give a shit. They're doing fine. Like they're doing just fine. And I think power slap gets a lot of clickbaity, talking heads or whatever. But the opportunity to dive a little bit deeper is so there. And that's where the podcasting in our world is very important. Like now they just don't see you eating that pasta or slapping somebody, they get to know, oh shit, this dude, wait, he was an MMA commenter. Oh, wait a sec. He was doing this, he was doing that. And that's so important because that develops a fan base for you and stickiness to the sport.
And it's, like, character development too. It's like, wow, this kid's 20 years old and he's already been through that. Like, when you hear I'm 22, a lot of people are like, "What the fuck? You're 22." Most guys think I'm, like, 27, 25, you know? Like, not 30, I've never heard 30 yet, but in the
That's great.
late 20, yeah, in the late 20s,
See,
and
and I love
to
it when
me,
I
it's
hear
like, I'm a
30. You know what
baby.
I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. No, but it's true, like, I'm a young kid, and, to do the things that I've already done is like things most people already do in their 30s, 40s, and later in life, because it takes a while to get there. And one thing I'm good at is just networking and being entertaining, and people just want to see me. And I feel like I have this drive of like sincere competitiveness to do something physically, and it meshes well together where it's like, wow, I can really be me. I can go out there and I can compete and train the hardest that I could. Like every single day I'm training. Like right now I'm in a fight camp, and it's just for strictly cutting weight this past 4 weeks. So I'm week 2 into this starting on Wednesday, and it's like a severe diet. Like I've cut my calories by I think 3 or 400 and increased my protein, and I'm really really trying to cut a little bit more weight, so then that way I could go back into strength and conditioning and really put on some power and more strength already to what I have. So it's going to be pretty scary by the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then hopefully then the combine's ready for me so I could go and just slap in front of these people, talk, do media. And then they're like, okay, we have to. I'm like, I'm undeniable to me in my head. Maybe I'm wrong, but in my head, I'm undeniable.
No, I love it. Dude, you have to have that mentality, especially in the fight game, right? Like, and I think I heard that on, I might be fucking this up. Let me know in the comments, fam. But I believe that was Bert Kreischer's lesson from Joe Rogan in the comedy world. He was trying to figure out, am I doing this TV show? Am I doing comedy? And he was kind of like trying to figure out the comedy thing. And Rogan says to him, be undeniable. Like, don't worry about the likes, the clicks, the views, whatever. For what you're doing, be undeniable. And I think, hey man, you're doing all the right things to showcase that. And I think we'll see you up there. You never know when the cards are going to drop, but I'll say
Yeah.
this: we'll see you up there this year, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even me in my head, my perfect ideal world is because I almost maybe I shouldn't say that, but I almost skipped the combine and got right into competing. I won't explain why, but it almost happened. So I think right now it's just like to me the combine would be a fun experience. A lot of people are like, "Nah, I just want to skip it. I want to get straight to it." To me, it's an important part because it teaches you how to travel by yourself. You get to go do this because usually I'm always traveling with a team or people. Like usually I've always have like 3 or 4 people with me. And when I went to Vegas this last time when I met you, it was just me by myself, and then I brought my buddy King because I'm like really not used to traveling by myself. I hate it. It sucks.
Yeah,
If I could have my team
yeah.
around me, I would. And that's what eventually after the combine, hopefully I could do moving forward, especially going to fight week and stuff. I like having the right people around me, and it just makes it so much easier. They're very helpful people, and they're some of my best friends. So like them helping me cut weights or even like whatever I need to do there, they're gonna go above and beyond for me.
No, I think it's important. You need the right people around you. And dude, I think it's just human nature, man. You're going through something, it's new or whatever. It's not a bad idea to have your boy with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, especially like ride or die, you know, it's like a lot of the sport is I don't want to compare it to golf, but like mentally is tough because in the extent of like, dude, that shot has to be fucking perfect. And just like you're golfing, you get one fucking shot and you have to go out there and hit the ball right. You have to mentally lock in. Yeah, it's physical. You could go out, train 4 or 5 days a week, but people say you don't have to be the biggest guy to hit a golf ball 400 yards, you know? Like look at some of the best guys, they're leaning. It's just because the technique is right. And in this sport, you know, power is there, but like technique is everything. Cause I mean, it's proven itself. We've seen some big fucking boys get up there and not be able to crack. And it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
yeah,
Um, well, Aidan, man, thank you so much for coming on.
no, of course.
Look, I think this will be good. I really do believe we'll see you up there before the year's over, and we will find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Only one
Where can it,
way.
one way or another? Where can everyone find you on social media and just follow your whole journey, man?
Yeah. It's just Aidan Bugarskii, Bugarski on all social medias. I don't change my ad. It just very much me. I don't have a nickname. I don't have a stage name because I'm not role playing a champion. I am a future champion.
Love it. On that note, go follow this man. Thank you for coming on, dude, and we'll hang out for a bit while this bitch uploads.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.